This is what you hear and see at ACU basketball games. That's me, Brock Young. This is my life story of me and my brothers. We are student athletes here at East Carolina University.
My life is all I have. My rhymes, my pen, my pad. And I done made it through the struggle, don't judge me. What you say now won't budge me. Cause where I come from, so often, people you grew up with are laying in a coffin. But I done made it through the pain and strife.
The basketball team spends an average of 10 hours a week on schoolwork. They attend evening study hall, and players with a GPA above a 2.6 are only required to attend study hall for 2 hours a week. They'll attend study hall on Sunday evenings and then in addition do a 15-minute academic meeting with me at some point during the week. Players whose GPA falls below a 2.6 will attend study hall 2 hours an evening, Sunday through Thursday. In addition, they'll do a 15-minute academic meeting with me at some point during the week, and they're assigned extra study hall hours that fit in during their daytime schedule between their basketball practice, weights, and class schedule.
Solitary confinement. They had to place me somewhere else where I cannot be disturbed. I'm trying to get this blackboard assignment done real quick so I can go out there and mess with some people.
A lot of us student athletes know that study hall is not what we want to do, but if we don't go, we're not gonna, be on a team, or we might fail out of school.
I'm probably the most hardest working person in here.
He spends 2 hours a week with this particular tutor this semester, and with a mentor total, he spends about 12 hours a week with a mentor.
If it wasn't for my mentors and advisors, I would probably be struggling right now in my educational field.
I help the men's basketball team with their time management, their prioritizing. With some of the students, I've had to get them planners to help them organize their schedules and plan around their volunteering time, play time, practice time, and their class schedules to make sure that they get assignments done.
It's just the way to get my work done, so I won't be disturbed by myself. Keeps me from disturbing others. I think that's best for me though. I get a lot of work done in here by myself because there's nothing to do. No windows.
Basketball is my life, is what I do. I sleep, eat basketball all day. I mean, if I could play it all day, I would.
Practice varies from season to season within the school year. Early in the school year, when school officially starts, we're only allowed 8 hours a week with our kids, 2 of which can be on the court with the coaches. During those 2 hours, we do individual instruction, and it's limited as to how many kids you can have in one group. The other 6 hours are combined weight training and conditioning on the court. Once practice officially begins, that number is increased to 20 hours a week, and we can be on the court for all 20 hours. Typically for us, in the early stages of October practice, we will go for 2.5 to 3 hours a day on the court. We will practice 6 days a week. We have to have 1 day off for NCAA requirements. So you can't go over more than 4 hours in 1 day.
When you guys spend on it.
And I done made it through the struggle, don't judge me. What you say now?
Locked into the window that you have for your practice time, and for the most part, it's a couple hours, and obviously you don't use all of that time per day leading up to a game for game preparation, because you got to work on some other things, particularly that pertain to you, to your team. You want to devote some time to the opponent as well. So you're not only preparing your team for things that you feel you need to improve on or you could do better. When you get to this time of the year, after about an hour and a half, you can lose the attention span of the players. and you don't want them on their feet that long as well. So as opposed to a 2.5 hour block that you have early in the year, you're probably working from probably an hour and a half, hour 45 practice block, and you're going to probably use a half hour of that devoted solely to going over the things that the other team does offensively and defensively.
Get in the gym, get some shots up, warm up a little bit, go over the plays, run through the offense, execute fast break. Then we'll go over the other team's offense and defense. Then we'll end on free throws. Pre-game meal is, you know what I'm saying, where we come together and eat a meal as a team. It's really to get focused on the game, get your mind mentally prepared for the game, and just be ready at 7. As I come out the game and walk to the bench, I'm thinking about ways to make my teammates better. What I can do to contribute from sitting on the sidelines. So halftime, we all come back in the locker room, and you know what I'm saying, our captain, Grayson Sargent, writes 3 things about offense and defense that we can improve on. And then after about 5-10 minutes, Coach Matt comes in and tells us what the game plan for the second half, and we go out and play.
Even like when the players travel for away games, they don't get to go out sightseeing. It's not like a 2-day trip, fun field, and then you just play a game. Their days are filled from the hour that they leave Minges till the hour that they arrive back at Minges after the game. And for example, like the Southern Miss Tulane trip, that was a back-to-back game. We played 2 games, one on the 23rd and then one on 24th, which makes sense why they scheduled it like that, is probably mainly because it allows the players to miss less time in class, in which they need to be at. And, you know, we can go ahead and get 2 road trips out on one flight. They left on Friday. When they arrive, they have to go check into the hotel, then they have to go eat dinner. They might watch film that night.
Drive first, shoot second, pass third.
The moment they wake up the next morning, they've got wake-up call, breakfast.
What about Ed Coda?
Shoot around at the gym so they can get used to the area they're playing at.
get out of here and get off our feet. 1, 2, 3. Let's get out of here. Let's go.
They have to, eat lunch. There's just not a lot of free time. There's the game. They may have an hour or two to rest at the hotel to get their minds ready for the game.
Half a game behind.
It's a ongoing argument about who's better between Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. So everyone knows Mike is the best player, and it will always be the best player.
They have to come back and
That isn't how it goes.
report for the
We've
game.
got to
right
make something good happen. You don't have to win the game by yourself. You don't have to do everything by yourself. We've got to win it together. We've got to win it together, and we've got to play as hard as we can play on every possession. If they make a shot, they make a shot. Now let's go down to the other end and get one ourselves. They're a little shaken. They'll make some more shots this half. They went 0 for 6 from 3. We had a lot to do with that. We had a lot to do with it. But we're going to have to talk. We're going to have to close out. We're going to have to stay in the stance better. We're going to have to get them squared up and eliminate the penetration. Juan, you just gave out and gave up that last basket and fast break going over your head. You can't jog back. You can't jog back. And we've got to do a better job stopping them from y'all.
Right after that, they depart and bust over to Tulane. Check in the hotel that night, wake up that Sunday. Start it all over again, and you're getting ready for your second game 2 days in a row.
Flex cut duck in. See him take it to the corner? That means it's going to be flex cut duck in.
He got 4 touchdown passes and both won the record 22nd straight regular season game, 28-16. Week 12 against Houston, down 17-0.
Great job. It's been a long time, and every time you go a day without getting a win, it gets harder. It gets harder mentally. It gets harder physically to pay the price. And it wasn't no thing of beauty, but by golly, it was a win. Second day of a road trip. Nobody else is doing this, and we came in here and won. It speaks volumes about what we can do.
Who that? Who that? Who that? Who that? That nigga gonna beat them Saints.
A lot of the schedule relies on, trying to schedule around missing school and missing as few days as possible too, and not being on the road, for a week at a time. So that's kind of how they do that. There's not a lot of free time for the players.
I think today's student athlete, it takes a tremendous commitment and tremendous discipline. You have coaches pulling on you for practice, for weight training, conditioning, and the academic concerns, requires time with study hall, and it just takes a major commitment on student athletes' part. If you get behind in your academics and that becomes a pressure for you, it affects you on the floor. And you just need to keep, a balance in your life where you're taking care of each area. And balance is real important. If you get out of whack in one area, it affects the others. So, we talk constantly to our guys about, staying up on your assignments, not getting behind, staying up with your conditioning, and just not falling behind, because they all are interconnected. It's hard to believe that a guy that doesn't study is going to come out on the floor and give you 100% there too. So, You know, it just takes a complete effort in all areas, and some guys get it and some don't. And you hope through your teaching and you know, the example that you try to set for these guys, that they understand how important each area is, and they need to be effective in all of them. You just can't do one thing. You can't do the media and forget about the academics, or you can't do basketball and forget about academics. You got to do them all.
Not as cocky or pompous as people on the outside may see them. They're very sweet gentlemen. Not sweet, but they take care of themselves. They do what they're supposed to do, and they keep their responsibilities and their priorities in order, and they listen very well. And I've been very proud of them with their off the court.
One thing that people really don't know and probably don't understand about student athletes is the time that they've dedicated to athletics and academics. They spend so much time at practice, they spend so much time at weights, they spend so much time watching film, and in addition, they are dedicated to doing the best that they can in their schooling, so they put in the maximum amount of hours possible here in study hall in a structured environment. And they work really hard and they're dedicated, and they really have no free time at all. Essentially, their day begins between 6:30 and 7 o'clock in the morning, and they go until 9 p.m. at night, which is when our study hall ends. So I don't think that the typical student knows that about student athletes, that their free time is really limited, and they've really made a big commitment to playing a sport here at ECU.
Is that because these kids are on scholarship, that they have it made. The amount of time that they put into it certainly is significant enough that they're earning their way to be here. They really don't have opportunities to do things outside of the basketball academic breakdown. They have to find time to do their laundry. Certainly, we encourage our guys to have a social life within a certain realm, but they give up a lot being a part of a team, and they also gain a lot by being a part of a team. But
the rap of just wanting to win, and I don't think people realize how much we care about our players, that we want them to be successful, and sometimes we want more for them than they want for themselves. We want them to be educated guys and graduate. We want them to, be good citizens. And, I think the fans get caught up in the wins and losses, and they don't understand that, we're here to be difference makers for these guys. We want them to be an excellent character and be good students, become educated young men, and go out and be good fathers and be leaders in the community. So, we really care about these guys, and we want them to do well, and we want to be difference makers.
What I would like for student athletes to see is the big picture, in that you don't have the opportunity you have in most cases without the student fees. And the student fees a lot of times are funding athletic programs throughout the country. And I think when you understand that, I think you should have a lot more respect for the students in general. And maybe you may not look at that particular student in some ways as paying for me to go to school here, but the reality is they are. And I think you need to treat them with a lot more respect, and you should want to get their respect, and particularly as it pertains on the floor. And you should want them to walk out of that arena saying, I'm really excited about what I saw. I really felt good about what I saw. I like the way that young man, put it all out on the floor. He played with a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of spirit, a lot of emotion. And I want the student, I think as a student athlete, you should want to get the respect of the students that are in the arena.